Chapter 6. A clear note rang out from the long black piano in the mansion parlor. "All right, Bella, there's your first note. Let's hear that phrase again," Margaret said, looking over at Bella. Bella closed her eyes and breathed in deeply. "Pur dicestio, bocca bocca bella," she sang. "Stand up straight now, honey, and make sure your breath doesn't get too high," Margaret instructed. "Let's hear it again, this time with a bit of sparkle in your eye." Bella straightened up, her long blonde hair falling down her back in loose curls. She kept her eyes forward this time, the candlelight dancing off their light blue surface. Placing a hand lightly against her slender waist, she breathed in deeply, and then let her voice ring through the room, clear and sweet. "That's much better, dear," Margaret praised. "Can you give me any more smile in your sound?" Bella stood straight again, doing her best to smile as she repeated the phrase. Reaching the end of the line, her smile faltered and she glanced down at the floor. Margaret furrowed her brow in concern. "Hey, honey, you got something on your mind?" "I'm okay. Just a little tired," Bella said, forcing a smile again. Margaret pulled her hands away from the keyboard. "Sweetie, I've been your teacher for 10 years now. I know that face when I see it. Your daddy's taken off again, ain't he?" "Yes," Bella sighed, taking a seat on a stool beside Margaret. "I wish he would not travel so often. There's plenty of work for him here." Margaret placed a hand on Bella's knee. "Oh, Dr. Cartwright," she sighed. "Your daddy's a good man, Bella. He don't work for money or fame. He works because he really does want to help people. He's a good man, but you see, sometimes that's his problem. You can't help everyone, but oftentimes your daddy tries to." Margaret paused and lifted Bella's chin to look in her eyes. "You know, you've that same big old Cartwright heart. You may not be able to help everyone, Bella, but there are many that you can help. And you know what? If you look close, you'll probably find that the ones that need your help the most are the people so close around you that they can be hard to see." "Thanks, Miss Cassidy," Bella said, smiling for real this time. Margaret had become like a mother to her over their years together. Although Bella's father was often away from home due to the demands for his medical expertise, Margaret helped fill the loneliness with her voice lessons twice a week. Bella looked forward to her bright dresses, heavy southern accent, and warm reassurance. Some days, with permission from her butler, Mr. Bingham, Bella would wander down from their estate atop the hill to go visit Margaret, just so she could sit and listen to her talk while she sewed or baked pies to tempt the marketplace. "Bella? Bella, are you here?" A voice rang out from somewhere deep inside the house. "Sounds like your daddy's calling," Margaret said. "Well, honey, I guess I'll see you next week then. That is, if you don't stop by my house for some pie before then." "Thank you, Miss Cassidy," Bella replied, standing to walk Margaret to the door. "You're very welcome, honey, and I was serious about that pie." Bella laughed. "What kind of pie?" "Doesn't matter what kind of pie. It's my pie, so you know it's going to be good," Margaret said, engulfing Bella in a squishy bear hug. "You just come right on over when you feel like it. I'll be seeing you now." Margaret left the parlor and wandered down the stairs. Standing in the doorway, Bella could hear Margaret talking to herself as she left. "Why does everyone want to know what kind of pie? It's my pie. What other kind of pie would it be?" Bella laughed again, and then heard her father call once more. "Bella?" "Here, father," she answered. "I'm in the parlor." A minute later, Bella's father walked into the room. His unruly blonde hair was combed nicely in the front, but had begun to stick up again in the back. He was wearing a white silk vest under a baby blue traveling cloak that fell to his ankles. In one hand, he toted a black briefcase, a short cane topped with the head of a golden lion tucked under his arm, and in the other hand he held his old felt top hat, which drooped with age and use. Bella rolled her eyes. "Father, when are you going to replace that hat? Honestly, it looks like a dead animal." The doctor looked down at the hat in his hand. "What do you mean?" he said defensively. "I've had this hat for years. It's experienced, and you can't buy experience, you know." He snickered at his own joke, and Bella rolled her eyes again. "Anyways," he continued, "I just came to say goodbye before I head down to the ports. My ship launches in an hour." The smile melted slowly from Bella's face. "How long will you be gone for, father?" "Only a month, Bella. Then I'll be back to stay for a while, I promise." "That's what you said last time." "I know. Mr. Bingham will be here, though. You can always count on him for company." Bella let out an audible groan. Her father put down the things in his arms and placed a hand on each of her shoulders. "I know Mr. Bingham can be a hard man sometimes, Bella, but he's a good man. He's always been true to both of us, and I consider him part of our family. I trust him. It's only for a month." Bella looked up into her father's eyes, which were framed by deep smile lines. "Oh, father, you know how terribly lonely it is here. Let me come with you," she begged. "I'm not a little girl anymore. I could help." I suppose you could help if..." He trailed off, gazing into space as if thinking. For a second, excitement blossomed in Bella's chest. Would he actually agree? Her father heaved a great sigh, and her hope withered. Oh, Bella, how I wish I could, but alas, not this time. Nevertheless, you are right. You are not a little girl anymore. You're a young lady now, and it might not be such a bad thing if you gave your attentions to a young man sometime soon. He grinned down at her cheekily. Would falling in love really be such a bad thing? He pressed. Maybe not too bad, Bella said, her cheeks growing warm. That is, if there were any decent men around. What do you mean? Her father chimed. How about the Strout boy? What is his name? Barry Benjamin? Bartholomew? Bella asked, raising an eyebrow. Yes, nice boy. Very dapper. Would you not consider him? You've known him for quite some time, have you not? Ah, yes, Bella lamented. I have known him for some time now, which you see is part of the problem. If only I did not know him so well, then I might indeed consider him. Her father chuckled heartily. My dear, you sure do push a hard bargain. Well, whatever you decide to do, I told Mr. Bingham to let you go out on your own more often. I know how much you hate staying inside. At this, Bella felt a bit of her excitement return. Usually she was told to stay close to the house, and oh, how she hated being cooped up. Well, she said slowly, I guess a month won't be too bad then. Just promise me one thing, her father said, a sudden seriousness creeping into his voice. Promise that you won't go down by the ports. You know how it upsets Mr. Bingham when you go down there. Do we have a deal? Bella sighed again. Well, I guess. Her father gave her a hug and then collected his hat, cane, and briefcase. I'll be back in 1 month's time, assuming all goes as planned. Take care, my little one. Bella walked to the door and leaned on the frame, watching her father as he made his way down to the garden path to a carriage. Stepping inside, he leaned out the window and waved up to her, yelling as he pulled away, And don't refuse if a young man asks you to dance. Chuckling, she waved back and watched as the carriage disappeared over the hill, wishing she was in it as well. Since moving from England, her father was the only family she had, and despite understanding why he had to leave so often, she could not shake the empty feeling she had when he was gone. Oh, Father, she said to herself softly, falling in love is my fondest daydream. The only complication is that I keep waking up.
Someday